All right, good evening and welcome to Falcon Gymnasium for tonight's tilt between the Perry Meridian Falcons and the Carmel Greyhounds. We're ready for an exciting one tonight, Lucas. What should we see and expect first from the visiting Greyhounds?
Well, as you know, if you have paid attention to Indiana boys high school basketball at all in the past decade plus, Carmel is an elite program with a history of a lot of success, and they are technically the defending state champs, Zach. So this is a team that knows how to win, well coached, a lot of length. They're going to be very disciplined, run a lot of sets that vary. So a big contrast to our last home game versus Warren, more of a freewheeling run and gun style.
10-1 on paper, they come into this game ranked number 2, and I know, as you mentioned, they'll offer a bit of a contrast in style from some of the teams we've seen so far this year, but we're looking forward to a good one.
Absolutely.
On the flip side, on the Perry side, tell us what we should see tonight from the Falcons.
Well, Coach James loves these non-conference games. If you look at the way Perry played in the first 2 games of the season that happened to be conference opponents, Whiteland and Plainfield, we underperformed, and I think it's because we hadn't seen any of these mixed schools. And now that we've been in the Lebanon tournament, we've seen some mixed schools and the teams from our sectional. The boys are getting some confidence. They're getting tougher, and they're knowing not to settle. So I think you'll see improvement on shot selection from last home game. I think you'll see tougher closeouts. This is again, you can say Carmel's a well-coached team. I don't know that there's a better coached team around here than Perry Meridian High School. So we're going to see effort and I think a little bit more consistency. And of course, Jaden Taylor, Mr. Taylor, number 10, is the heart and soul of the team. He's the best player on the squad and probably the best individual player in the building tonight.
I know strength of schedule was something that stuck out to you as well when you were looking over at Carmel before the game. Talk to us a little bit about just the strength of schedule that they've played so far this year and how they've kind of come out here at the midway point.
Well, I think you and I were talking, and you mentioned that we might be one of the easier teams they play at their remaining schedule. That's
no knock on Perry.
It's not, because Perry's a tough team this year with all the seniors and Taylor, Mr. Basketball candidate. I think any mixed school that plays a tough schedule, but Carmel especially. Their only loss is to Cathedral, and that was a close one. And as we know, Cathedral's got 3 or 4 Division I prospects on the pipeline every year. Carmel's they still have LN, I believe. They still have a bunch of their mixed schedule left to go. So this is a team that's tested every year. They go through this, and so it's a little bit different when you play a team that is just kind of all the time playing their, against the toughest schools in Central Indiana. So it's a little bit of a different animal than some of the better schools in our conference. Even looking at Decatur, which is typically a tough battle for us, or Southport, another team in our sectional, not used to the playing Bar Reeve as your easiest non-conference.
Absolutely. Well, I'm really excited to watch this one with you, this battle of the north side and the south side. We'll get things started here with the national anthem, and then we'll be back for the starting lineups.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight
under the direction of Melissa Walsh. She's done an outstanding job of keeping that program thriving this year.
Amen.
Under less than ideal circumstances. So thank you to the choir program for that outstanding national anthem. Starting tonight, first for the visiting Greyhounds of Carmel, they'll start a junior at forward, 6'10", number 33, Charlie Williams. They'll start another junior at guard, 6'2", number 4, Josh Wack. Also at guard, a 6'5", junior, number 10, Peter Suter. At guard, a 5'8", senior, number 3, Connor Joya. And rounding out the starting lineup for the Greyhounds, a 6'7", senior, number 11, Brian Waddell. Assistant coaches for the Greyhounds are Rich Conley, Andrew Foley, Walt Morris, Jacob Van Arsdale, Josh McRoberts, Josh Cole, and Dan Redden. The head coach is Ryan Osborne in his 4th year. Starting tonight for the Falcons, at forward, a 6'3", sophomore, number 42, Patrick Schott. Also starting at forward, a 6'4", senior, number 44, Noah Pendleton. At guard tonight for the Falcons, it'll be a 5'9", senior, number 14, Mason Corsaro. Also starting at guard, running the show for the Falcons tonight will be a 5'9", senior, number 12, Reggie McDonald. And then alongside the senior leader, the captain, 6'4", senior, number 10, Jaden Taylor. Assistant coaches for the Falcons, Mark McFarland, Kevin Kuntz, and Peyton Russell, Amanda Davidson, and Evan Casper, and Brandon Reese. Falcons are led by head coach Mark James, also in his 3rd year at the helm of the Falcons. Ready for an exciting tip tonight, Lucas. Coming out of the gate, is there anything you expect to see from the visiting Greyhounds? Offense, defense, things that stuck out to you that you saw in the scouting report?
Like I said before, just a lot of set plays. I think solid execution is what we're looking at. They like motion. You're going to see some screens across the lane and some flares that we didn't see last time. So it'll be interesting.
Awesome.
A lot of length I can already tell on this team.
Tip goes to Carmel. Ball controlled by the senior leader, Connor Joya, as he gets the offense started. Carmel looks to work the ball around the left-hand side. Brian Waddell scans, gets the ball inside to the big man. Ball bounces off to the left, and Noah Pendleton is able to secure the rebound for the Falcons.
Looks like they started Charlie Williams today, and he's 6'10". So, taller than anyone I've ever seen play for Perry.
6'10" will be tough to handle for the Falcons, as our tallest player is 6'5". 6'4", excuse me. As the Falcons work the offense. They work the ball inside to Schott. Schott looks to drop it down to Taylor. Taylor's stuck, and he gets him back out to McDonald.
Good job not picking up that pivot foot on the post by Jaden.
Taylor turns for 2.
Ooh.
It's off.
It's a good look for him. I mean, it was contested, but he about had it.
Josh Wack brings the ball down for the Greyhounds, and they'll set the offense. Waddell looks to dump it inside to the big fella. Charlie Williams kicks it out. 3's no good. Another rebound for Brian Waddell, who puts it in for 2. Yep.
That name sounds familiar. That is Matt Waddell's son, Purdue fame. Played with Big Dog Leonard Robinson.
For all the Boilermaker fans out there, nice to see a familiar name. 2 minutes in, the Greyhounds lead 2-0. The Falcons are content to run the motion offense. Quite a contrast from what we saw last game against Warren. A little bit more methodical on the offensive end, partly due to the defense they're seeing, I think, Lucas.
Yeah, for sure. I think this actually is more into the Falcons' comfort zone, to be honest. The half court doesn't bother them. As long as Taylor can take good shots, this is just fine for us.
Pendleton looks to work inside, kicks it out to Pissarro, swings it over to Reggie McDonald, who looks to get to the lane.
They're going to call that foul on the floor. I was worried they were going to get Reggie on the travel there. He just took a big step.
You're right there. We will get our first foul of the evening. Connor Joya with the foul for the Greyhounds. His first, team's first.
Too much crowding over here. We need to reset at the top.
McDonald, dribbling at the top of the key, swings it over to the left-hand side. Pissarro doesn't like what he sees. He gets it back out to McDonald, who swings it back around to the left-hand side.
They're definitely playing straight man here, and they're fighting through screens. Wack is staying with Taylor. He's just on him.
Shot looks to make him move baseline, and he does step on the line.
The problem with taking those long possessions, Zach, is we got to make them count. Another basket here by Carmel, and all of a sudden a 4-point lead is a lot more insurmountable than it was against Warren when both teams were able to run a little bit more.
With the pace of the game the way it is, makes every possession that much more critical. As we've had each team with 2 possessions here to start. We're already 4 minutes into the game. Jump shot from the top of the key.
Williams could just reach over and almost grab that rebound.
Taylor gets out.
Oh, no call.
Contact underneath. Like
could have gone either way.
No call. As Waddell will swing it over to Joya. Works it back over to Waddell. Left-hand side works it over to Suter, who gets it to Joya. Williams loses the ball inside. McDonald looks to attack, and he finishes with a left-hand
Reggie
on the right side.
Oh, my.
Coach Osborne wants an early timeout.
Yeah, Coach didn't like that. I think they started with strip down here at Williams. Big fella got the ball down there too low, and there was not enough resistance offered on that fast break opportunity by Reggie McDonald.
Well, 4 minutes in, 3:47 mark of the first quarter. We've got our first timeout by the Greyhounds. What's the message being delivered over in the Carmel huddle right now?
I think they've missed a couple jumpers that they're not used to missing. I think Coach Osborne is probably interested in continuing to run sets to get easier shots. Why take contested jumpers when you can outsize your opponent? There's no shot clock in high school basketball. This can go to the end of the quarter break with Carmel with 5 points and still leading. So why rush things? They've got to believe they're the better team.
Absolutely. Well, we'll see what they come out of the break with here. Just a quick update. An update from Perry Meridian at Center Grove girls basketball this evening. The JV is in the books. They played 2 quarters tonight with Center Grove taking that one 21-18 final. Look on Twitter for the live stream link for the upcoming varsity action. That'll take place tonight here coming up shortly. Again, that's Perry Meridian girls basketball at Center Grove tonight. Live stream will be on Twitter. Check out PM Falcon Athletics on Twitter for all the information. As Carmel comes down.
Another contested jumper. Impatient possession by Carmel, and Wack took the shot there. I think if you're Carmel, you look at Suter. He hasn't even had a shot yet, and Jaden is helping off of him huge. He can knock it down. So got to look to get him involved on the other end.
Absolutely. Falcons work the ball around the outside. Again, we're already at 2:48 in the first quarter. We're locked up at 2 here in Falcon Gymnasium. They work the ball into Joyce, who checked into the game for the Falcons. He gets the ball back out to Taylor. Taylor's going to work it inside and draw the foul. We're going to have a mass sub here from Carmel. We see 4 players getting ready to check in as Taylor will go to line for 2.
You know that's a deep team when they can squat sub like that. Something that Perry struggles with is depth. The rotation usually only goes about 7, maybe 8 deep. So we're going to have to stay out of foul trouble with all these long Carmel bigs and wings.
The first free throw is good as we get a full lineup replacement for Carmel with the exception of Josh Wack, who will stay in the game. Taylor knocks down the second, and the Falcons lead 4-2 here with 2:30 remaining in the first quarter. Greyhounds work the ball around. Ball in the hands of Will Leary. Gets the ball back over to Wack. And they'll work the ball around the outside, content to run the motion offense.
Oh, you got to block that out.
Sam Orm lets a three go, doesn't get it to drop. The ball ends up back with Wack, and he will take it to the rack for 2.
It's good awareness by Wack. It all starts with that block out, though. Coach James is not happy with that. You can't give him easy looks. Team this good, it's going to capitalize on those.
Coach Osborne looking for a little boost of energy from this lineup on the Carmel side. As they counter with the man, Terry content to run a motion offense. Swings it over to Joyce in the corner, back out to Taylor. Taylor will look to get in the lane. He gets all the way to the rack, but
I heard some hands there.
There might have been some contact there. The officials are going to have a play on as Wack looks, drops the ball down, swing over to Will Leary.
Very fortunate that rimmed out. Too easy of a look. Get him on the floor.
As Taylor gets to the basket again, we're going to have a foul on number 30, Will Leary, for the Greyhounds.
So you guys out there who recognize that Purdue connection, Will Leary is Todd Leary of IU Legends' son.
Very good. So we have a little IU and Purdue connection
On the same team.
For the Greyhounds.
It just shows the fame you can find in Carmel, Indiana from time to time.
They've got so many people at that school, Lucas. I think
Yeah, we were talking about that. It's like 2 Perry Meridians.
quite incredible when you think about the growth of this school. And it really shows in a lot of their athletic programs, a well-oiled machine.
Here's the one shot. 37 seconds left.
You are correct. Perry is content to run one shot here. They've got about 25 seconds left here in the first quarter.
Carmel's up on him now, so we're going to have to get the ball moving.
Swings it over to Pendleton. Drops it back down to McDonald's.
Coach just yelled, "Go towards the basket." Sometimes it's that simple.
Taylor surveys. He's going to pull for 3. And it's good. Drops it down.
Feeling it. That's one of those no, yes situations.
Carmel's going to get one more shot up, and they're going to count it.
Yeah, that was before the buzzer.
That's a runner for 2. Basket is good by Sam Orm. And we're at the end of a low-scoring but exciting first quarter. Falcons lead 7-6. What do you think of the pace that's been established so far?
You know, this is actually quite comfortable for Coach James. No press yet. We saw Bloomington North and Warren have success pressing us. I'm a little surprised, even though Carmel's not a team that's known to press, I'm a little surprised they didn't take something from that film and adjust their game plan, because we don't have a ton of ball handlers. You can trap Jaden and get a little bit of fluster out of him. So that hadn't happened yet, and we've kept it close, and I think James loves it.
Is it too early for adjustments on either side, or do you like the way you've come out and just want to run what you've been running?
Well, you got to remember, Carmel's missed 3 or 4 jumpers. A couple of them are wide open, so I don't know that Osborne is upset with the offense that's being run. I think what he's telling his guys is keep taking good shots, be patient, stay cool, and then on the other end here, all we've seen so far is slow down offense and Jaden go get a bucket. And then we had 1 transition basket. So I think Coach James is going to adjust to try to get some open looks, because so far it's just been Jaden creating for himself.
Very good. Huge shout out tonight to Assistant Athletic Director Emily Steinmetz, who is running our audio tonight. I'm quite terrified by what I saw of myself on camera, but I'm going to let it go and try to regroup here for the second quarter.
I told you we should wear ties tonight, Zach.
I took a flyer and took your advice, and I'm glad I did, but man, I've got to stop rocking in the chair. All right, Falcons look to work the ball around here as we start the second quarter. We're 25 seconds in, and they're content to run the motion. I think that's going to be a theme of the night. Looking for a ball screen up top.
Yeah, we got that ball trap there. That's an adjustment, trying to get Jaden to make a mistake.
Already early, I'm noticing a little bit of an uptick in the intensity.
Yep,
Greyhound
both sides. A little crisper offense on Perry, too.
Starters back in for the Greyhounds as they look to work it inside to Charlie Williams, who can't get it to go with the left hand. McDonald will bring it back up the court. Gets it over to Pendleton, who swings it back over to McDonald. We'll start the offense on the left side. Mason Casaro comes around the right, looking for Jaden Taylor.
Oh, that was
him a screen.
Ref bailed out the Greyhounds there. That was about as easy of a split of a double team as I've ever seen.
I tell you, that split-second recognition there from Jaden is something that you just don't see, and that might be something that kind of separates him from, I guess, players who are being looked at on the D1 level and not.
Absolutely right. It's that kind of thing. He looks like he's doing it so easily out there, even against the top competition in the state. And people don't understand how good he is until you watch him do it in person to Carmel.
They give the foul there to Josh Wack for Carmel. That's the fourth team foul.
I think Mason's got to pull that. That was a good look for him.
Falcons content to run it. Get it inside. McDonald can't finish on the left side. And here come the Greyhounds.
They got lucky there. Suter lost the handle.
Joya looks to reset. The 5'9" senior comes around that ball screen up top, gets it over to Wack. They're looking inside.
Look at Reggie down there with the big man on him.
Reggie was on the big fella there for a second. Charlie Williams gets another look. Can't get it to go. Falcons look to run.
Oh!
Reggie gets the ball up.
A little contact there. I think the ref's just letting him play a little bit on both ends. Well, maybe on this end. I don't know. I don't know that was any more contact than what Reggie saw.
Pace starting to quicken here as Wack gets to the inside and draws the foul on Mason Corsaro. That's the first foul on Perry tonight. 11 minutes into the game. Wack will shoot two. Gets the first to go. We'll see our first action tonight from Isaiah Brinker. 5'8" junior will enter the game for Reggie McDonald. Also on the inside, Patrick Schott will be back into the game. Sophomore for the Falcons, replacing John Joyce. Second free throw is good, and Carmel retakes the lead, 8-7. 5:36 to go here in the first half. Put the ball over to Taylor in the corner. He shot fakes, gets his man in the air, but doesn't like what he sees. Swings the ball back over to Brinker. Brinker's stuck up top. He needs some help. He gets it over to Taylor. Taylor gets into the lane. Pops a 12-footer. Can't go. Carmel has the rebound off the other way. Suter got his man in the air, but he couldn't get the basket to go, and the Falcons are countering on the break.
It's a good board by Pendleton. Good defense overall by the Falcons in that possession, considering how fast Carmel tried to go.
Falcons are running a lot of ball screens. Taylor shoots for three, and he gets it to go. Falcons back up 10-8.
He's feeling it like that tonight. Carmel's going to have their work cut out for him stopping. Wack's doing a good job on defense, but give him a foot of space and he's splashing it.
Joya working his way in the middle, kicks it out to Wack. Back to Joya. Over to Waddell. Can't get the three to go, and a good screen out there from Brinker.
Wrestling on the ground there.
Casaro for three, and he knocks it down.
Mason.
Falcons with a 5-point lead, and Coach Osborne wants another timeout.
And Coach James got to settle these guys down. This is where you got to act like you've been there before.
Yeah, you got to act like you've been there before. At the same time, I can see the excitement growing here. You got the number 2 team in the state on your floor, and you just counter with back-to-back threes.
Yeah, and I think what I mean by that is get settled and keep doing your thing. I think what we've been victim to in the past when we've gotten up on a team that was technically better than us is we've been rushing things and kind of getting stuck in that spotlight. This is the best or second best team in the state we're playing right here. We're now up 5. We've proven this year that we can beat anybody. Remember, this is a Carmel team that beat Center Grove and had to go take overtime to do it. Remember, we handled Center Grove on this court a few weeks ago. So we can play with anybody. Coaches over there telling them, keep doing what you're doing, settle down, take good shots, keep boxing out, play physical underneath like we saw Shot doing just last possession. And I think we have a chance.
You've got to think what you're saying is true. The intensity's there. The fundamentals are there. Screening out, getting good looks on the offensive end, that's going to go a long way for Perry. On the flip side, you've got a quick run there by the Falcons. What's the message coming out from Coach Osborne?
Well, Carmel needs to force us into some mistakes here. And if you watch what Warren did, they sped us up, got us committing fouls, got us turning the ball over. So I think on defense we're going to see a little more intensity and maybe some more trapping on Jaden.
We'll see what we get out of the timeout. Carmel trailing 13-8. Falcons with back-to-back threes. Oh, and they'll get an open look in the corner, but it won't go. What do we have here? It looks like we're going to get a foul.
They must have grabbed Waddell, maybe.
That foul is going to go against Corsaro, his first, team's second. We'll get the senior McDonald back in the game.
You lose some shooting there with Mason going to the bench. If he's a streaky shooter, but when he's feeling it, he's usually good for the whole game.
Falcons get the ball out. Will Leary swings the ball over to Peter Suter. Carmel will work the ball back around. Waddell doesn't like what he sees, kicks the ball over to the left.
Ooh, nice move by Suter.
Suter gets inside. A little bit of contact again, but we're seeing the theme of the night is the refs are going to let us play through some contact on the inside.
That you'd think would favor Carmel, but Perry is staying tough and physical with them.
Both teams definitely can initiate and like the contact.
What's the call? Coach James doesn't like it, whatever it is.
I think we had a wet ball. So we'll get that dried off.
I threw off the rhythm of that up-tempo possession we were getting ready to have there, Zach.
Right. I tell you, when you're in the zone and things seem to be working, you don't want anything out of whack.
Absolutely.
So even a wet basketball will get the coach up out of his chair. But it doesn't faze Jaden Taylor as he gets to the basket for 2 more. Falcons up 7. 3 minutes remaining. Carmel gets down quick on the other end.
I don't agree with the single man coverage on Taylor right now. Honestly, I mean, watch your film. Falcons don't have a lot of guys that are going to hurt you. Trap the best player in the game. Pressure him. Make him give it up or make a mistake.
They're definitely having trouble containing him so far. As Joya knocks down the first.
I mean,
31, Nick Fritchie into the game for the Greyhounds. As Joya knocks down the second. 3 minutes to go here. First half, 15-10 Falcons. Taylor brings the ball up, and he'll look to give Reggie McDonald a ball screen. He'll kick it back out to Brinker.
no.
The ball is tipped.
Oh!
Falcons will retain possession. I think that surprised a few of
Good
us.
thing Reggie picked that up. He was ready to let it go out of bounds.
He gets the ball over to Taylor. Another 35-second possession.
Hey, when you're
Just
up 5,
fine. Just fine.
yeah.
Oh! turnover.
That's a mental error for James Taylor.
We'll see here. A big 2:08 here remaining for both teams. If you're Perry, you want to see that lead sustained or extended. Carmel trying to get back.
Stop here would be huge.
Distance. Joya up top.
They're running that flare, and they're trying to get that off-ball action for Suter, and he ends up getting an open shot.
Great action there.
That's what they've been missing all night. Open shots they've been rimming out. So. And here comes that trap.
Samworm knocks down the three, and we see our first trap of the night from Carmel. They work the ball over to shot. Falcons are out of the trap, I think. And we want to get a timeout from Coach James.
Coach wants to talk about that because we've got some chatter over here. I'm not sure what. I think Osborne was saying that the ball hit the baseline before the timeout was called, but I don't think the refs are going to go with that assessment. Anyway, I think Coach James is over there letting the boys know this is how good this team is. They're going to hit a shot. They're going to go right into their defense. They're going to switch it up on you. You've got to be ready. Get it to your ball handlers. You don't want to get trapped in the corner with the big like we just did. Getting us flustered is how you're going to knock a few points off this lead. And as you can see, only up 2 now.
Definitely Carmel looking to change the pace with the trap off that last make.
And Orm, as a 6'7" kid, he's a sophomore who can knock down threes apparently. So it's just something you don't have at Perry Meridian High School.
Definitely be a challenge if he can stretch the D and knock down the three. So far, Falcons have been able to keep the Greyhounds contained. As Carmel still comes out in half-court trapped. Brinker and McDonald are working around. Ball gets deflected out of bounds. We're at 1:15 remaining in the second quarter. Falcons still up 2.
Here's that inbounds pressure. It's just everything is amped up to try to force us into making mistakes. Zone half-court press. Love it.
Works it over to Taylor.
Nice
drops
look.
it down for Pendleton, who finishes for 2.
What a great pass by Jaden Taylor. That's exactly how you beat that half-court trap.
Made it look easy as the Falcons take a 4-point lead. Joya comes around the ball screen. Works it over to Suter. Waddell scanning the territory. He kicks. Joya gives a jab. Waddell swings it back over. Sam Orm wanted back-to-back. He doesn't get it, but the rebound is off to Nick Fritchie. And it's back out. Suter this time is able to connect.
Big bucket. He's been missing that tonight. We've got some guys that knock that down.
We've got 15 seconds left
Over the
here.
half-court line, Isaiah.
Down to 10. Perry with the 1-point lead, holding for 1 shot as we wrap up the first half. Brinker
It's a good shot.
for 3. Knocks it down. And a great end to the half. If you're a Perry Meridian fan, Falcons will go into the halftime with a 20-16 lead. And a great half of basketball. If you're into high pace, high action, maybe not everything you're looking for, but if you just like good basketball, that was the one. So we're being waved on. I think it's time for us to be quiet, Lucas. As we're going to have a great performance from our Falconettes. If you're watching online, enjoy Perry Meridian Falconettes. 6 last year.
Let's hear it for your performance. So this is the plan they're tonight.
Yeah, take a small
one. We welcome them to senior graduation out here at Varsity High School. And once everybody is in place, we will honor our senior member. Please welcome
2016, I think.
escorted by Tracy and Kyle Cooper. Kara Hudson, escorted by Scott and Beth Hudson. Another senior member of the Falcons, Skylar Tucker, escorted by Bob and Tisha Tucker. And Grace Williams, escorted by Keith and Nicole Williams. And once again, we want to thank the Falconets. A very difficult last couple of months in the school year, but still hanging together and still with us here tonight. And we welcome them and thank them for all their contributions to the Falconets performance and program. Once again, let's give it up for the very great Falconets.
All right, you guys ready for halftime show? Yes, anything to say?
All right, and for some more halftime entertainment, we're going to give you a replay of an interview from last week with Falcons senior girls basketball team member Sally Mortensen. Enjoy.
All right, welcome to halftime of the girls basketball game. Today we're going to interview and talk to senior Sally Mortensen. Sally, you recently committed and signed with Grace. How did you make that decision?
I decided to go with Grace just because it's a very safe campus. When I was walking around, I definitely felt safe, and it's a very community-filled aspect, which I definitely liked, and basketball is a big deal up there. So I'm definitely looking forward to gyms being packed when we're playing. And then I also already knew some of the girls from playing AAU with them, so I meshed pretty well with them. They're pretty good teammates as well as people. And lastly, I loved Coach Davis's great energy. He's always talking. He's always walking around, never stops. So.
Awesome. Okay, so then you play two sports. You played volleyball in the fall, and now you're playing basketball. How's it been playing sports this year with all this COVID protocols and policies?
Yeah, it's definitely been a little bit nerve-wracking because I feel like, especially during basketball, every other day you're hearing another story about a team having to quarantine due to COVID positive test or contact tracing. So it's definitely pretty nerve-wracking, I'd say. But it also makes you feel so blessed when you think back to how you felt in March and April, and even in the summer when we couldn't get any workouts in, just that we're able to play every day. I definitely miss seeing everyone at school, just like the feeling of being in school on a game day. You're wearing your game day outfit and you see your teammates in the hallway, you're buzzing about a game day. But the fact that we're even able to play and get through most of the season has been crazy. So
Good. All right. And then last, what makes playing sports at Perry Meridian so special for you?
So through my own experience, I think something that makes Perry special is that every adult or coach is very involved. They care about us deeply as kids while still treating us like adults. I never have a practice where I don't see an administrator like Ms. Steinmetz or Mr. Schornick or even Mr. Bodeker walking through our practice, checking, see what's going on, making sure everything's running smoothly, which I feel like is pretty important because a lot of times in like roles like that, you don't notice what everyone's doing until something goes wrong and you need them there. So I definitely think that's important. And then I feel also overall as an athletic department, our athletes feel supported and we feel like we have a voice. Like if I needed to talk to someone, I feel like not only could I talk to my coach, but I could talk to the athletic department administration as well, which I feel like not a lot of high schools have. So it's very important.
All right. Thank you, Sally. Best of luck next year at Grace, playing basketball up there. And I'm sure you'll, once a Falcon, always a Falcon, but we're happy for you as you make that next step in your journey. So we'll get back to action here shortly. Thanks for stopping by.
Administration as well, which I feel like not a lot of high schools have.
Emily, how do you fix the score on the Yep.
And welcome back. Minute left here before we get action started in the second half. Looking forward to a great finish. Mr. Klipsch, the Greyhounds, the Falcons, what are the keys to the second half?
Well, Coach Osborne is in there trying to fire his guys up, telling them that, they've taken good shots, but they've missed them. The big issue for Carmel is they're getting out-muscled inside by a team that is smaller than them, and they're letting Jaden Taylor have his way with them. And honestly, you can't do that if you expect to win here tonight in this building. As for Perry, Coach James has got to be thrilled with the makes. I don't know that he's thrilled with all the shot selection, but anytime you got Taylor getting buckets, you're in good shape. I think the issue is going to be he's going to want harder closeouts on those three-point shooters for Carmel because the looks have been too wide open, and we've just been fortunate that they've been missing.
As things get a little tighter on Taylor this half, what will he be looking to do from an offensive standpoint? How does he look to stay just as involved as he did in the first half?
I'm convinced if you don't get grabby with him and don't get physical with him, he's just going to do whatever he wants to you. So I think that he's going to keep splitting double teams and taking it to the rack as long as they let him. There's no height out there that stops him. It's just about getting in his grill early and running him off the three-point line. And if he's hitting shots like he's been hitting tonight with a hand in his face, just splashing him from 25 feet, I don't know what to do about it.
Interesting. Well, we'll see what kind of game plan Carmel comes up with here in the second half. If you're just joining us, a pretty methodical first half, long possessions, man-to-man, and motion on both sides. Really a style befitting both teams.
Good discipline on defense by the Falcons early. They tried to run a play there.
Sorrow looks to charge.
It's over his back, ref.
Looks like we are going to get a foul on the Falcons.
This Steinmetz just gave me the evil eye because I was yelling at the referee from the announcer's box. But that was, when you're 6'10".
I think we're just supposed to call them or I guess call it how we are told that it's seen. We don't have much say in the matter.
It's the Slick Leonard mentality.
Might have been the reason for the death stare from the Steinmetz.
Well,
Joya knocks down a 2. Polar Greyhounds within 2. 7:20 remaining. Third quarter. Pendleton gets the ball to McDonald. Taylor scans the territory. Gets the ball over to Casaro. McDonald slices into the lane. He's going to draw a foul and shoot 2.
got bailed out there. A bad shot.
You say bailed out. Explain a bit more just as far as what you saw there that kind of had you shaking your head.
Well, Reggie has a tendency to leave his feet, not really know what he's going to do with it next. He just threw it up there off the backboard. I know he got hit on the body, but the way they've been calling this game, he should have been not expecting them to give him that foul. And he did miss 2 free throws because, as they say, ball don't lie.
He did miss 2, and Carmel comes back down and gets to Charlie Williams, the 6'10 junior, ties the game up at 20.
Just like that. Yeah. Coach James, a great timeout here.
James will get our first timeout of the second half. It's going to be a 30-second timeout. What's he saying?
I think he hated that shot by Reggie. I think he doesn't like the easy entry to Williams. They've been bodying Williams all first half, and all of a sudden he gets an easy, deep look for a bucket. Whatever we were doing right on defense, being physical in the first half, so far has not come to fruition this half, so I think he's probably harping on that. But just watching him, like I've told you before, I often just want to be a fly on the wall in those huddles.
I would expect to see maybe a change in energy after this timeout. Looks like really Falcons there.
He did.
6:41 remaining. And if you're able to stream 2 tabs with us tonight, we've got Falcons girls basketball varsity in action at Center Grove. They're at the end of the first quarter now. Trojans are leading the Falcons 13-10 in that one, but a good battle there on the south side down in Greenwood.
Carmel the lead.
Carmel gets their first lead of the second half.
I think it's only their second lead of the game since very early on.
22-20 Greyhounds. Taylor has the ball on the right side. He looks to get inside, has the ball taken away. Carmel's on the run.
Waddell with the flush.
2-hand flush. Waddell extends the lead to 4. Taylor gets inside, has the ball deflected. Carmel's on the run again. They're going to get a foul there.
Shooter. Just like that, we're about to go up 7 here.
Reggie McDonald will take a break as Isaiah Brinker enters the game for the Falcons.
I think Carmel's showing us they can play fast if they want. And it's time to unleash the horses here in the second half to try to get us out of our element.
It does seem like they emphasize getting out and running a little bit. We've seen them counter each stop with a fast break transition. Suter can't get the free throw to go. Perry will slow things down on the other end. Sorrow didn't like what he saw. He turned it back around, went to the right side to Pendleton. That ball's knocked away. Suter finishes again.
Suter's a D1 prospect, Zach.
Who's looking at him, Lucas?
From what I can tell, I think your alma mater is looking at him. Butler Bulldogs have some interest there.
He's starting to show flashes.
He looks like a Butler guy. shoot, hard-nosed, likes to draw contact near the rim.
Could be a tough half if he gets things going. Now we got another timeout here on the floor. I think at this point just trying to stop the bleeding a bit. Carmel's out to a quick 12-0 run to start the quarter. 8 points, I tell you, it feels like a lot when you're running this kind of methodical, slower pace. But what do the Falcons do to counter and get back in this game?
I think Coach James still likes the slow half-court sets. I think because we had our way with it in the first half, you just keep doing it, and then you make fewer mistakes. Sounds easy, but you can't let Carmel get their hands on so many basketballs. I mean, we're talking about 4 turnovers already in this half. You can't have that at all. I mean, you need no more turnovers this quarter if you hope to pull within a few buckets by the time the buzzer sounds to go into the fourth.
Let's see if the fortunes reverse here. 4:57 remaining in the third quarter.
It'd be nice if Taylor could go get a bucket here. It's nice to have him on your team. Coming out of the timeout, they're not pressing or trapping, so now'd be the time. Instead of ball screen there, they hedged up on him there to kind of prevent that one-on-one action he was looking for.
Brinker works the ball over the left-hand side to McDonald, back to Brinker. Looks like we're going to have a foul inside off the ball. The foul is on number 33, Charlie Williams. His second, team's second. Falcons get the ball to Taylor. Sorrow gets to the middle. Kicks it back out to Taylor, who gets a screen from Shot up top. Spins, back out. He'll pull for 3, and he'll knock it down. He's hit a few of those tonight.
That's his third. He's got 13 on the night.
Big shot there. Pulls the Falcons to within 5. 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. Wack has it on the left side. Swings it up top. Back to Wack. Joya in the corner. Has the ball deflected by Taylor. We'll stay here with the Greyhounds.
Gotta keep those active hands.
Waddell picks up the dribble, gets it inside to Suter, kicks it out to Joya. Can't get the 3 to go. What's the call here?
Turn on the reach.
Looks like it's going to go against the Falcons.
Sorrow, it's his third.
Third foul on Pissarro. They'll get him a breather. As Pendleton re-enters the game. Oh, they get a shot for Waddell. That's wide open, and he knocks it down for 2.
Too easy on the baseline out of bounds.
Whatever they ran was able to get him a wide open look, and he knocks it down. Greyhounds back up 7. We've got a turnover.
That's a good thought by Pendleton, but you got to get a bounce pass in there to Shot. He had good position.
Fired that one in there a little hard. Good position inside by Shot.
Yeah, he's getting yanked for that pass, I think. Coach doesn't let him stay in after they make a mental error like that. He's always coaching. He's over there in Pendleton's face right now, giving him some tips. And that's how you know Coach James is all about these young men. Even though he might hurt your feelings sometimes, he's teaching all the time.
As Suter's able to get inside for 2 more, the lead grows to 9. And to that point, it wouldn't surprise me to see Pendleton get right back in the game here pretty quick and get a chance to rectify his mistake. We'll see here.
Now, considering we've only played, I think, 7 guys tonight, I think you're probably right.
Brinker looks inside, gets it over to McDonald. McDonald journeys his way through the lane, kicks it over to Brinker, who drops it down. Joyce picks the dribble up. He's got a swarm.
Don't put it down there, big fella. John's got to keep that ball up high.
We'll move the other way.
Oh, that's an offensive foul, ref. So Waddell pushed off.
One of those bang-bang calls. Looked like he felt like the lack of position there trumped player control by Carmel player.
Now you've got Joyce getting ready to get an earful for putting that ball down there and getting stripped. Oh, too easy.
Carmel drops it in for 2 more. Suter again inside.
Well, this is a different Carmel team we've seen this half, Zach. Much more focused. Executing extremely well.
Good shot fake from Taylor. Doesn't get it to go, but he's going to go to the line for 2.
One thing Carmel's doing is they're trapping him up top, and when they get beat, they're making him work with a lot of help defense. And even if you could just disrupt him a little bit, throw him off his rhythm, you got a chance at getting a strip or sending him to the line where he's not guaranteed. I mean, he's a great free throw shooter, but he's not guaranteed. So that's great defensive execution by Carmel there. It worked out for him.
To the untrained eye, it's hard to tell exactly what's changed in this quarter. But what's making things so difficult for Perry right now?
Well, I think it's momentum. As we saw early on in the quarter, Carmel was pushing and having a lot of success in transition. And then on defense, like I said, they're just hedging out with that extra defender on Taylor at the top of the ball. And it's throwing a pitch into our offense. That was easy.
They've really found a rhythm on the offensive end with Suter as he gets 2 more. Greyhounds up 12. Minute 30 to go here.
What's the call?
Third quarter, I think we got an offensive foul here on Jaden. Nope. Correction. That offensive foul was going to go on the sophomore shot.
I wasn't watching.
I didn't see.
Oh, it's a moving screen. They called it. I saw it on your replay.
Okay.
He threw his shoulder into him on the screen.
I tell you, Carmel's seen something. They've been able to get the ball inside, and they're going to go back to the line. Nick Fritchie will go for 2.
It's kind of what we've seen in the past. We've played teams that have missed jumpers. Kind of Center Grove had the same mentality. Once you start missing your jumpers, get it inside, and they've got plenty of actions that get cutters open. So they've been using them, and I mean, it's good. It's well coached.
Fritchie knocks down the first. Second one is good as well. The lead is expanded to 14. Minute 19 remaining here in the third quarter. Taylor looks to get inside. We're going to get a foul, I think, on Wack. I believe that's Wack's first foul, team's 4th.
Getting outscored 22-4 here in the third quarter is just pretty discouraging.
Discouraging, but not quite out of reach. Falcons need to get something going here as they work the ball around. 1 minute left, third quarter. Taylor has it up top. He gets a screen from Schott, who rolls. Taylor will pull from 3 off the back of the rim.
You're fine with that if you're Carmel.
Rebound from Waddell. Joya is going to pull it out with pressure from Brinker. Back cut from Waddell. He's inside. He's going to finish it. And 1.
Yeah, he's not quite as good as Dad was, but he's long and he can score a little bit. So.
Well, it's early, Lucas. He's got some time. He's got some time to catch up to Dad, I think.
I think he's a senior.
Waddell finishes the 3-point play, 41-24. Taylor brings the ball up. 25 seconds. Referee has a count on. He gets out of the count.
Shot.
I don't know what the call will be.
They're going to call a foul there.
Jaden might have run into Shot.
He ran into Shot, and they're going to call a foul. He split the double team, though, so. I mean, I guess give it to him, but I'd just let him play.
Interesting call there. As we've got 5 seconds. McDonald surveys. He's going to pull from 3, just off the rim. Rebound to Carmel. Ooh. Half-court heave is no good. We've reached the end of 3. Big quarter for the Greyhounds as they take a 17-point lead into the fourth quarter. 41-24 over the home Falcons. Mr. Klipsch, find me a silver lining here as we head to the fourth quarter. What can we see? What would be an encouraging finish to this game? Obviously, you want to come back and get the W, but just from an overall gameplay standpoint, what do the Falcons need to do to get back on track?
Can we get a redo? Oh my gosh, 25-4. Carmel scored more in that quarter than we have scored all game. The tempo just went completely out the window. You know, Coach James, it's not what he told them at halftime. We were exposed, and they figured out how to disrupt Jaden. He only had 3 points in the quarter. I think the silver lining would be what you're looking for is just good execution, no stupid turnovers, and high energy and high effort on defense. How many easy buckets did they have in the lane in the third quarter, Zach?
A lot. It seemed like they had a lot of finishes there. Big quarter from Suter, a couple and ones, both from him and Waddell. They were really able to expand that lead. I know I'd expect the Falcons to play hard to the end and maybe see if they can't put a dent in it, get it to manageable with about 4 minutes left, and see what happens at the end. But it's going to take a big effort.
Well,
Pissarro gets
coming out shooting. I mean, you like that. You take an open 3, even if you miss it. You need to do that if you want to come back.
We're going to have a foul on the floor here.
Number 4 on Mason.
Carmel is in the bonus. Pissarro's 4th foul. Team's 9. So Brinker will come in.
And John Jones also coming in for the Falcons.
Yeah, you're starting to see why this team is number 2 in state.
1-1 free throw is good. Brian Waddell will have a second coming up. As we get
Zach Douglas sighting.
Zach Douglas into the game for the first time.
He can shoot it a little bit too, so maybe we're going to let a few threes fly here.
Second free throw is good from Waddell. Falcons will roll it up, trying to conserve every precious second that they can here as they try to mount a comeback. 19-point deficit, 7:30 remaining.
Good luck.
Joyce inside, kicks it out to McDonald. McDonald will look to attack. Kicks it out.
Good shot.
It's a good look, just won't fall. As Brinker has one bounce off.
Orm with a good tip there.
Look there from Waddell is no good, but a rebound by Suter.
They're so long.
You hit on something there that's really kind of stuck out to me as this game's progressed. It's just the length of Carmel, too. It's understated. I don't think it jumps out at you.
Yeah, they're actually bigger than Warren, though. I mean,
bigger, taller than Warren. The way they've been able to get inside and kind of attack the glass, too, has really kind of stuck out this half. Maybe worn down the Falcons a bit with the length.
Yeah, we kind of bided them up a little bit in the first half on defense. Didn't let those easy rebounds slip through. but they're just getting their hands on every basketball this half, tipping, causing havoc, just making nothing easy for Perry. You can tell by the scoreboard that they're going to be a load here for any opponent coming up.
Bryce Beery enters the game for the Greyhounds as Taylor looks to work it inside. He gets his man in the air, can't get the ball to drop, but he will draw a foul.
Teams just respect that baseline drive that he's got. They'll always go for that shot fake.
Foul there was on Suter, his second, team 7th, so both teams will be in the bonus the rest of the way. Taylor knocks down the first. And he knocks down the second.
Oh, Falcons in the press now. It's the only option you have. Down 17 and 6 minutes left in the game. It's a soft press, but anything to cause a little disruption you're going to take. Speaking of the devil, John.
Good effort there to save it.
Almost had it.
Bounces to Joya. The look inside. Waddell.
You heard me talking about how he wasn't as good as his dad.
I think he did hear you. He says, I'll take 2 and give me 1 more as well with the flush and finish inside.
That's just, you think about, you look at the talent and the length, and you just wonder, like, if Perry Meridian had 6'7", 6'7", 6'10", that close to the rim, how many easy buckets would we have against some of these teams in our conference? And it's just really eye-opening to see these big, state contender caliber teams up close to personal.
You're absolutely right. The height being beneficial. Waddell finishes the 3-point play, and it's a 20-point lead for Carmel. I think ultimately, part of that silver lining I'm looking for is your last 2 games as the Falcons, you played 2 of the state's best. No doubt come tourney time, there's not going to be anything you haven't seen. You've got the length from Carmel, the athleticism from Warren. You've seen some different things throughout the year. Some different styles, so it hurts right now at this moment, but I think only good things to come for the Falcons.
You're absolutely right. This is exactly why Coach James loves to schedule these games. I mean, it's not college basketball. You don't have a selection committee putting you into the state tournament. I mean, your only job is to get better all year and try to win your sectional. That's your only job. And come sectional season, it's anybody's ball game. And this Perry team has shown that they can hang with anybody.
They've definitely shown us that a bit more this year than in the previous 2 years, which is a great thing. As we get a quick timeout from Coach Osborne, Greyhounds up 18. Taylor had the last basket for the Falcons.
He's got all the points this quarter. But yeah, this is the hardest schedule I think we've played since I've been working at this school. So dating back to 2014, I haven't seen a more difficult schedule. I haven't seen. I don't know that I've seen a team ranked higher than this come into this building. And again, we always say there's no moral victories, but you look at the way we played in the first half against this team, the way we played Pike for 3 quarters, the way we played Warren for 3 quarters. This is a team that's growing and getting better as the year goes on. And like you said, it hurts right now, but you love this experience. Especially for the younger guys. Shot getting some minutes out there in the end of a game like this is great for him. Being a sophomore.
No doubt about that. As Carmel comes out of the timeout, just run a set play. Don't like what they see, but they'll get it in.
That away shot. Good contest on that shot. I called a block, but I think the ref disagrees with me.
Might have been a little contact there with the hip.
Let's watch the replay.
Bryce Beery will go to the line. We've got our replay queued up here. We'll see if we can see the contact. Just a little bit with the body.
As body. I think that's one they could have called either way. But you know what? Watching him from freshman year to now, that's not a play he would have even slid over for freshman year. I mean, he would have been a turnstile. And here we are contesting shots at the rim from one of the best teams in the state. That's progress for the big fella.
Curry with the unusual form there on the free throw gets the second one to go. Carmel has a 19-point lead. 4:39 remaining. As McDonald surveys the court, looks to get things started. Doesn't like what he sees. He's looking for Taylor. He gets it to Taylor. We're going to get a hand check on Wack.
Gosh, that first step is so quick.
Carmel, foul number 4, Josh Wack.
Back into the game, the big fella, Charlie Williams for the Greyhounds. Taylor will shoot a 1-and-1.
Williams has improved this half. He played a little scared first half, I think, but used that 6'10" length to get his hands on everything so far this half and has made things easier for his teammates.
Taylor knocks down the first. Second one on the way. It's good.
It's a soft press. Nothing easy.
Falcons not out of this yet. 17 points down, 4:20 to go. As Carmel gets the ball across the timeline. Suter works it over to Waddell. Back up to Wack. They're running that motion. Waddell to Beery, the ball's tipped. Beery will reset things up top. Drops it down. Charlie Williams finishes for 2.
Yeah, that's good composure there by Williams.
Greyhounds back up 19. Taylor gets inside, pulls up for 2. He's going to draw another foul.
Say that's your best offense right now. Stop the clock and get a chance for 2 points if you can get it.
That's the move we saw a few times in the first half. We've seen it here in the fourth quarter. They were able to shut that down a little bit in the third. That's kind of been the difference in the game.
Yeah, I mean, he had
Partially.
10 points in the first half. So far, he's got 9 in the second. So I think it is a difference, but I think your bigger difference here is on offense. Carmel's looked like a well-oiled machine.
Looks like we've got another wet basketball. We're getting a little
Somebody's using too much hand
sanitized action. Again, a huge shout out to those in attendance for following all the COVID protocols this evening and throughout the year. It's been a trying season, but fans, players, coaches have all really responded. It's been nice to see.
Yeah, absolutely. And you kind of feel bad for these kids. They're seniors, and they just don't get to have that senior season that they expected. Some of these athletes are having to stay home. They don't go anywhere. They just live and breathe basketball because they don't want the fear of getting quarantined. It's just not at all like my senior year of high school. I can't imagine.
Definitely been a strange one for sure, as Taylor knocks down 2. Perry back within 17. Suter's able to get inside and finish again above the rim.
Quick cut into the middle of the lane, just like that. Reggie just throwing the ball at the rim when he gets in there with a big body on it.
Saw it as a challenge, tried to go right back at him, couldn't get his 2 to go.
Good hands.
And that's one thing you just got to love about the senior leader in McDonald's. He's not afraid. He's going to take it right at you. Score doesn't matter. Time. He's going to be bringing the effort, the energy.
And that's why he's going to be a good college football player.
Suter kicks it out to Wack after the miss, and Wack is going to get one to go.
I think that recognition kind of sets Carmel apart. I mean, Wack saw that there was nobody guarding him. He didn't throw up a junky 3. He could have held it for a while, but why not take the layup line and get to the line?
McDonald fouls out of the game for the Falcons.
Corsaro, I mean.
I'm sorry, yes, correction, Corsaro.
Yeah, Mason's been getting hit with lots of little fouls. I mean, he's played a tough game tonight. Just trying to chase these Carmel guards.
3 points for the senior. Had a big three in the first half. To help extend the Falcon lead. The Greyhounds up 54-32.
Get a little deeper into that depth chart.
2:30 remaining. As Taylor gets inside, kicks it out to Douglas. Oh.
I will. Huh? Yeah. What the official said.
I'm not sure. .2:15 remaining. Carmel working the ball around with a 22-point lead. If you're just joining us, hasn't been all Carmel all night. First half actually belonged to the Falcons. They went to halftime with a 4-point lead, but the third quarter is where the tides began to turn.
They got outscored 25-4 that quarter. Seldom see that in a high school game.
A near flawless quarter from the Greyhounds in the third period. They've continued things here in the fourth.
Charlie, you got to flush that big fella.
Williams, his eyes got big, but he didn't throw it down.
Man, if I'm 6'10", that close to the rim, I'm hammering it. Easier said than done, right?
Yes. We'll get a steal and a finish from Will Leary. As McDonald will pull up for two, knocks down the mid-range.
You know, it's interesting, this Carmel team. You and I have talked about this. They don't have the stud D1 player, Josh McRoberts or A.J. Hammond type. I mean, they've got some guys that'll play in college, but it's not like we saw with Warren where Tay Davis is, a blue chipper. They don't have one. They've just got like 6 or 7 guys who could probably play D2 or mid-major, and they're long and well-coached. And it just makes all the difference in the world when the talent gap is that big between them and just everyone they play.
Definitely are solid. Not a whole weaknesses on display tonight. They've just pretty much brought the same effort, same intensity from the jump.
Yeah, they're just the shots are falling. Their offensive sets have been more well executed this half. It's really the only difference.
36 seconds left here in this non-conference battle for the Falcons. Falcons not giving up on the effort. They'll continue to apply pressure as we get down to 23 seconds. Carmel will run the motion, but I don't think they're looking to score. So we're going to get one more foul here on McDonald. A few groans from the small crowd are heard. And we'll get one more stoppage of play. First free throw was good from Bryce Beery, as he'll have a second. Knocks it down to give the Greyhounds a 58-34 advantage. 10 seconds remaining here in the fourth quarter. Taylor's going to get up one more three. It won't go. Beery has the rebound, and that's going to do it. Carmel will move to 11-1 on the season as they move into their next game with Pike, and your Falcons are at 500 on the year, 5-5. A good effort, but the schedule continues to be a bear. Lucas, a great game this evening. we'll put a bow on this one. What's your final thoughts as we head into our next game with the Falcons?
Well, I think you got to look at this schedule here. I mean, we're coming up on Martinsville, Columbus North, and Greenwood. Our next 3 games. Columbus North is probably the toughest team that we'll play of that trio. We're home for that this coming Saturday, so I hopefully that'll be a chance for us to kind of get a few wins before we see that Southport game rescheduled to February 3rd. Falcons ought to have that start on their calendars. That's at Southport Fieldhouse. We need 3 wins before we get there. It's not an easy task anytime you're playing conference games, but you can take some growth points from this game. You can also take some encouragement and kind of get up for these next 3.
Awesome. Well, we'll look forward to it. Ready for the second half of the season. Sure to be an exciting finish for all teams involved. Again, on behalf of the Perry Meridian Athletic Department, huge shout out to Assistant Athletic Director Emily Steinmetz for running things smoothly at our table. You, Lucas, and on behalf of myself, great evening. Thank you for tuning in. This has been another production of Falcon Basketball. Have a great evening. There was like 90 people watching it.
I thought we had a good broadcast.